Hello everyone. In the previous lecture, we have seen how to find the Laplace transform of a function by using division by t property. In this lecture, we will see how to evaluate a definite integral by using division by t property of Laplace transform. So till now we have seen change of scale, first shifting theorem, multiplication by t and division by t. Change of scale is applied when L of f of t is f of s. We calculate L of f of at, which is given by 1 by a f of s by a. First shifting theorem is applied when f of t is multiplied by e raised to minus at. We calculate L of f of t, replace it by f of s, and whatever is f of s, replace s by s plus a. Then when f of t is multiplied by t raised to n, we apply multiplication by t property. So here also we calculate the Laplace transform of f of t. Whatever is the answer, that we differentiated n times with minus 1 raised to n outside. Next one is division by t property, that is L of f of t by t. So whatever is the function in the numerator, we calculate the Laplace transform, and the answer has to be integrated between the limits s and infinity. So change of scale property is applied when t replaced by at. First shifting theorem is applied when f of t is multiplied by e raised to minus at. Multiplication by t property means f of t is multiplied by t raised to n, and then division by t means f of t divided by t. So when we have multiplication, differentiation of f of s. When we have division, it is integration of f of s. So first example, evaluate integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus t sine root 3t by t dt by using Laplace transform. So here we are asked to evaluate a definite integral by using Laplace transform. So we are given an integral, not the Laplace transform. So we have to compare this integral with the Laplace transform definition. So we have, by definition of Laplace transform, L of f of t is equal to integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus st into f of t dt. So instead of L of some function given, we are given this integral. So comparing the right hand side of this definition with the given function. So if we compare both the integrals, we can write sine f of t is equal to sine root 3t by t and s is equal to 1. So comparing the given integral with the right hand side of the given Laplace transform definition. So we can write f of t is equal to, when I compare these two integrals, we can write f of t to be equal to sine root 3t upon t, and s value is equal to 1. So when we are given this integral, we write this integral as L of f of t. So here when we write this integral is equal to L of sine root 3 by t with s is equal to 1. So writing this integral as L of sine root 3t by t with s is equal to 1. So the given integral is L of sine root 3t by t with s is equal to 1. So now we can make use of properties of Laplace transform to evaluate this, or to find the Laplace transform of sine root 3t by t. So since we are having divided by t, whatever is the function in the numerator, we have to calculate the Laplace transform. So the numerator function is sine root 3t. So calculating the Laplace transform of sine root 3t. This is of the form L of sine at, which is a upon s square plus a square. So here we will get root 3 upon s square plus root 3 square. Root 3 square can be replaced by 3. So whatever is the function in the numerator, Laplace transform of that function is to be calculated. So we have calculated the Laplace transform of the numerator. Now whatever answer we get, that has to be integrated between the limits s and infinity. So now calculating L of sine root 3t by t. So whatever answer we have got in the previous step, that answer has to be integrated between the limits s and infinity. Now root 3 is a constant which can be taken outside. So now this reduces to the form integration of dx upon x square plus a square. When I take root 3 outside, this will be ds upon s square plus 3. So the integration of dx upon x square plus a square is 1 by a tan inverse of x by a. So here also if I take root 3 common, the integration of ds upon s square plus 3 will become, now here a, here we have a square, but here we are having 3. Which means that a square is equal to 3. When a square is equal to 3, then a will become root 3. So we will have 1 by root 3 tan inverse of s by root 3. So we have this root 3 is taken common. Then the remaining derivative integration part will become 1 by root 3 tan inverse of s by root 3. So we can cancel root 3. We will get tan inverse of s by root 3. Now applying the upper limit and the lower limit. Upper limit is s is equal to infinity. So we will have tan inverse of infinity which is equal to pi by 2. Lower limit is s is equal to s itself. So applying the upper limit minus the lower limit. So applying the upper limit, we will get tan inverse of infinity which is pi by 2, and the lower limit will become tan inverse of s upon root 3. Now we have to put, so we have calculated L of sine root 3 by t. Now this is calculated. Now we have to put s is equal to 1. So when s is equal to 1, we get pi by 2 minus tan inverse of 1 by root 3. And we know that tan inverse of 1 by root 3 is pi by 6. So pi by 2 minus pi by 6, when we simplify, we will get 2 pi by 6, or we can write as pi by 3. So the value of this integral is equal to pi by 3. So what we have done first, we have converted the integral to Laplace transform. Then we have used the properties of Laplace transform to find the Laplace transform of that function, and then putting s is equal to whatever is the s value given in the integral, putting s is equal to that particular value and calculating the value of this integral. So we have integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus t sine root 3t by t dt is equal to pi by 3. The next example, evaluate integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus t cos 3t minus cos 2t by t dt by using Laplace transform. So when we are given a problem, we have to see whether L of some function is given or we are asked to evaluate an integral. Okay, that has to be the first step, whether we are given Laplace transform of some function which is to be found, or we have to evaluate an integral. So if the Laplace transform is directly given, L of some function is given, then we have to make use of the properties of Laplace transform and find the Laplace transform of that function. If L is not given, instead we are given some definite integral, then convert this definite integral to Laplace transform and then make use of those properties of Laplace transform to find the Laplace transform of the given function. So we are going to compare this integral with the right hand side part of the definition of Laplace transform. So comparing these two, we are not given L, we are given this part. So we have to write this integral in terms of L. So comparing both, we can write f of t to be equal to cos 3t minus cos 2t upon t. And s is equal to 1. When I compare both these integrals, f of t will be cos 3t minus cos 2t by t, and s is equal to 1. So we can now, when we have this integral is equal to L of f of t. So when we have this integral, it is going to be L of cos 3t minus cos 2t by t with s is equal to 1. So we are writing this integral in terms of L of this function with s is equal to 1. So the given integral is L of f of t with s is equal to 1. So now our aim is to find the Laplace transform of this function. Whatever answer we get, we have to replace s by 1. Now we have got L of some function divided by t. So when you have divided by t, whatever is the function in the numerator, calculate the Laplace transform. So calculating the Laplace transform of cos 3t minus cos 2t. Now since we have a minus sign in between the two functions, we can take L to both the terms. So L of cos 3t minus L of cos 2t. So we know by the standard Laplace transform formula, L of cos 3t will become s upon s square plus 3 square, and cos 2t will become s upon s square plus 2 square. So we have calculated the Laplace transform of the numerator. Now we have something divided by t. So whatever is the Laplace transform of the numerator, that has to be integrated with respect to s between the limits s and infinity. So L of cos 3t minus cos 2t by 2 will be whatever is the Laplace transform of the numerator, that has to be integrated between the limits s and infinity. Now both these functions or both these integrals are in the form f dash of x upon fx dx. That means when we have the derivative of the denominator in the numerator, then we can write log of the denominator. But the derivative of the denominator in both the functions is 2s. But this 2 is missing. So multiplying and dividing by 2, so we can write this as half log. Since 2 was missing, so half log s square plus 9 minus half log s square plus 4. Okay, this was the denominator. The numerator was s upon s square plus 9. The derivative of s square plus 9 is 2s. We had only s in the numerator. So multiplying and dividing by t, we get half log. Now we have to apply the limit, upper limit as infinity and lower limit as s. Now when we apply the upper limit as infinity, we will get infinity minus infinity, which is not defined. So we have to combine now the log functions. So it is of the form log a minus log b after taking half common. So log a minus log b is log a by b between the limits s and infinity. So we have seen in the previous lecture, when we substitute s is equal to infinity, the whole term becomes 0. How it becomes 0? We try to take s square outside from the numerator, s square outside from the denominator, so that s square will get cancelled and the remaining will be 1 plus 9 by s square. So when I put s is equal to infinity, that part will become 0. So we will get log 1, that is equal to 0. So when we apply, we have done in detail in the previous lecture what is the value when we apply the upper limit as infinity. So in the same way, when we do that particular method, we will get the upper limit to be equal to 0 and the lower limit to be equal to s itself. So we will get 0 minus half into log of that. Now to remove this half, I can take the reciprocal of this fraction. So we can write half log s square plus 1, s square plus 4 upon s square plus 9. So we have got L of cos 3t minus cos 2t upon t is equal to half log. But we were asked to evaluate an integral with some value of s. So that value of s was 1. So putting s is equal to 1. When we put s is equal to 1, this whole integral value will be half log 1 plus 4 upon 1 plus 9, which is half log 5 by 10, or I can write half log 1 by 2. So main thing is we have to convert the integral to Laplace transform, then make use of the properties of Laplace transform, and then put s is equal to that particular value to evaluate this integral. So here we get, it was s is equal to 1. So we have put s is equal to 1 in this answer, and we got the answer as half log 1 by 2. So this integral is equal to 1 by 2 log 1 by 2. It is going to be a constant value always because we are having e raised to minus t. If you have e raised to minus st, then this will be the answer. Since that instead of s we are having 1 here, we are putting s is equal to 1 in that answer and calculating the value of this definite integral. Next problem. Evaluate 0 to infinity sine 3t plus sine 2t upon e raised to t dt by using Laplace transform. Now, nowhere we are given L of some function. Okay, we are not given L anywhere in this problem. We are given an integral which is to be evaluated. So this integral is to be converted to Laplace transform of some function with s is equal to that particular value. So here, since we have e raised to t in the new denominator, I will take that to the numerator. So e raised to minus t sine 3t plus sine 2t upon t. Now comparing this integral with the definition of the Laplace transform. Comparing these two integrals, we can write f of t to be equal to sine 3t plus sine 2t upon 2 and s value is equal to 1, which means that the given integral will be equal to, if this was the integral, we write L of f of t, but here the f of t is equal to this part, which means that this integral is equal to L of this function with s is equal to 1. So in the next step, this integral is equal to Laplace transform of this function with s is equal to 1. So the given integral is equal to L of this function other than e raised to whatever is the function given, that is equal to L of that particular function with s is equal to 1, because we are not having e raised to minus st, we are having e raised to minus t. So s will be equal to 1. Again, since we have division by t property, the Laplace transform of the numerator is to be calculated and integrated between the limits s and infinity. So first step will be calculate the Laplace transform of the numerator, and the numerator function is sine 3t plus sine 2t. Since we have plus sign in between, we can take L to both the terms. So we can write L of sine 3t plus L of sine 2t. Now we know that sine 3t is equal to 3 upon s square plus 3 square and sine 2t is 2 upon s square plus 2 square. So this is the L of the numerator. Now we are having divided by t, or division by t property states that whatever is the Laplace transform of the numerator, that has to be integrated between the limits s and infinity. So this Laplace transform is equal to the answer which we have got for the Laplace transform of the numerator. That function has to be integrated with respect to s between the limits s and infinity. Again, this is of the form ds upon x square plus a square. So we can directly write 1 by a tan inverse of x by a. So 3 can be taken outside the first integral. So we can write, or 3 into the derivative, the integration of ds upon s square plus 3 square. Now a is equal to 3 here. So we will get 1 by 3 tan inverse of s by 3. Here we will get 1 by 2 tan inverse of s by 2. So integrating both the terms, this 3 is already as it is, and ds upon s square plus 3 square will have 1 by a again. That is 1 by 3 here. Tan inverse of s by 3 plus 2 into. Again 2 will get cancelled, 3 will get cancelled. So we will get tan inverse of s by 3 plus tan inverse of s by 2. Applying the upper limit. So when we apply the upper limit, we will get infinity. Here also tan inverse of infinity. Here also tan inverse of infinity. So we know that is equal to pi by 2. So applying the upper limit, we will get pi by 2 plus pi by 2, and the lower limit will be tan inverse of s by 3 minus tan inverse of s by 2. Or if you simplify, pi by 2 plus pi by 2 will become pi minus, if I take minus sign common, tan inverse of s by 3 plus tan inverse of s by 2. Now actually we have to put s is equal to 1. So what we are going to do is we are going to make use of the formula for tan inverse of A plus tan inverse of B. We know that tan inverse of A plus tan inverse of B is tan inverse of A minus B upon A plus 1 plus AB, or we can have, tan inverse of A plus tan inverse of B is tan inverse of A plus B upon 1 minus AB, and then tan inverse of A minus will be the opposite of the formula. So tan inverse of A plus tan inverse of B is tan inverse of A plus B upon 1 minus AB. If you have a minus sign here, then we will get here minus, here plus. So we have to calculate now tan inverse of S by 3 plus tan inverse of S by 2, which means that A is S by 3, B is S by 2. So A plus B upon 1 minus AB. Now we have to put, actually it is pi minus this answer. We had in the previous step pi minus this answer. So putting S is equal to 1, we can write tan inverse of 1 by 3 plus tan inverse of 1 by 2 as tan inverse of 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2. If we cross multiply and take the LCM, we will get 5 by 6. Here also we will get 5 by 6. This will get cancelled. So we will get tan inverse of 1, which is equal to pi by 4. So the problem was pi minus this answer. Pi minus this answer, and this answer we have got that to be equal to pi by 4. So we can write the given integral as pi minus pi by 4, which is equal to 3 pi by 4. So main thing is, since we have to put s is equal to 1, we cannot leave the answer in this form. We can leave unless if it is given to prove some result, then we have to make use of tan inverse of A plus tan inverse of B formula to simplify tan inverse of 1 by 3 plus tan inverse of 1 by 2. This is simplified to pi by 4. So already we had pi minus this answer. So pi minus pi by 4 is 3 pi by 4. Next problem. Again, same way, evaluate 0 to infinity e raised to minus st sin ht sin t upon t. Again, in this whole problem, nowhere L is seen. L of some function is not given. Instead, we are given an integral which is to be evaluated. So, converting this integral to Laplace transform. So, we know by the definition 0 to infinity e raised to minus st into f of t dt is L of f of t. So, that f of t is sin ht sin t upon t and s is equal to 2. So, we can write f of t, and we can write this integral to be equal to Laplace transform of sin ht sin t upon t with s is equal to 2. So converting the integral to Laplace transform by using this definition. So we are converting this integral to Laplace transform by using this integral is equal to L of the function other than e raised to is f of t. So L of sin ht sin t upon t with s is equal to 2. Again, since we have division by t property, whatever is the function in the numerator, we have to calculate the Laplace transform and then integrate that particular Laplace, that particular answer with respect to s between the limits s and infinity. So our aim is to calculate L of sin ht sin t upon t. Now, since one is a trigonometric, other one is a hyperbolic function, there is no formula connecting both. So using the basic definition of sin ht, which is e raised to t minus e raised to minus t upon 2. We can take 1 by 2 outside, or I can write L of e raised to t minus e raised to minus t into sin t upon t. So our aim is to calculate the Laplace transform of the numerator since we are having division by t. So whatever is the function in the numerator, calculating the Laplace transform. Now since first open the bracket, so we have e raised to t sin t minus e raised to minus t sin t. Now since we have a minus sign, we can separate that L of the first function minus L of the second function. Now here sin t is multiplied by e raised to t, which means we have to make use of the first shifting shifting theorem. To apply the first shifting theorem, first calculate L of sin t. Whatever is the answer, replace s by s minus 1. Here also calculating L of sin t, replacing s by s plus 1. So we know that L of sin t is 1 upon s square plus 1. Now calculating L of e raised to t. So whatever is L of sin t, replace s by s minus 1. And in the second term, replacing s by s plus 1. So calculating L of sin t and applying first shifting theorem to calculate L of e raised to t sin t. So this is the answer of L of sin t. So here s has to be replaced by s minus 1 and here s has to be replaced by s plus 1. So s is replaced by s minus 1 in the first term and s plus 1 in the second term. So this is the Laplace transform of the numerator. So now we have division by t, which means that this function is to be integrated with respect to s between the limits s and infinity. So this function is to be integrated. Again, we are having ds upon s minus 1 the whole square plus 1. This is of the form dx upon x square plus a square form, where x is equal to s minus 1 or s plus 1 in the second term. So making use of the same formula, dx upon x square plus a square, which is 1 by a tan inverse of x by a. So here a is equal to 1. X is equal to s minus 1 in the first term and x is equal to s plus 1 in the second term. The formula remains the same. So we will have half a is equal to 1 in both the terms. So we will get tan inverse of x by a. So tan inverse of x is s minus 1 and here we will get tan inverse of s plus 1. Again applying the upper limit minus the lower limit. So when we apply the upper limit, we will have tan inverse of infinity, which is pi by 2. Here also infinity, pi by 2, and then the lower limit. So we will have pi by 2 minus pi by 2 and lower limit is s is equal to s. So minus tan inverse of s minus 1. Already you have a minus sign. Lower limit minus sign will become plus tan inverse of s plus 1. So we can write this pi by 2 will get cancelled. So half of minus tan inverse of s minus 1 plus tan inverse of s plus 1. Or I can write tan inverse of s plus 1 minus tan inverse of s minus 1. Again we have to make use of tan inverse of a minus tan inverse of b. Okay. So first step is converting the integral to Laplace transform. Then make use of the properties of Laplace transform to evaluate that Laplace transform. So calculating the Laplace transform of that function and we got the answer as half of this. Now using the formula for tan inverse of a minus tan inverse of b, we will have tan inverse of, if it is minus then the numerator is minus, denominator is plus. If you have plus here then the numerator is plus, denominator is minus. Now a is s plus 1, b is s minus 1. Substituting for a minus b upon 1 plus ab. So tan inverse of, this was the given problem. This was the given problem. This is equal to half of this. Put s is equal to 2. Put s is equal to 2 in the whole function. So half tan inverse of 2 plus 1, 3. 2 minus 1, 1. So 3 minus 1, 2. Then 1 plus 2 plus 1 into 2 minus 1. So 1 plus 3. So we will have 3 minus 1 upon 1 plus 3, or that will become tan inverse of 2 by 4, which is half into tan inverse of 1 by 2. Okay, so we have put s is equal to 2 after using the formula for tan inverse of a minus tan inverse of b. So the value of this integral is equal to half tan inverse of 1 by 2. So first step is converting this integral to Laplace transform. Make use of the properties of Laplace transform and put s is equal to the required number to get the final answer of this integral. Next problem. Prove that. You have to prove this result. So 0 to infinity e raised to minus st sine at plus sine bt upon t. Again, we are not given Laplace transform of any function. We are given an integral, which means that the right hand side of the definition is given. So we have to compare both this Laplace transform and writing this integral as L of sine at plus sine bt upon t with s is equal to s itself. So you will get the answer in terms of s now. Till now we had s as some value, that is why we got the answers in terms of a constant. Now we are having, instead of s, we are having s only, which means that the answer also will be in terms of s. So f of t is equal to sine at plus sine bt upon t, and s is equal to s itself. So writing this integral as L of f of t, L of f of t. So this integral is equal to L of f of t, where f of t is sine at plus sine bt upon t. Again, we are having division by t property, which means that the Laplace transform of the numerator is to be calculated. So calculating the Laplace transform of the numerator. So since we have plus sign, L of sine at plus L of sine bt. Again, using the formula for sine at and sine bt. So a upon s square plus a square and b upon s square plus b square. Now, since we have division by t, this is the Laplace transform of the numerator. So division by t we will have is whatever is the Laplace transform of the numerator, that has to be integrated with respect to s between the limits s and infinity. So this was the answer for the Laplace transform of the numerator. This answer is to be integrated with respect to s between the limits s and infinity. Again, making use of this formula, a is equal to a in the first case and a is equal to b in the second case. So we can write a into 1 by a tan inverse of s by a plus b into 1 by b tan inverse of s by b. This a is already there and this 1 by a we have got from the formula. Again, b is already there, 1 by b from the formula. b and b and a and will get cancelled. Apply the upper limit, we will have pi by 2. Here also pi by 2 and then the lower limit. So we will have pi by 2 plus pi by 2 minus tan inverse of s by a minus tan inverse of s by b. Again, pi by 2 plus pi by 2 will become pi. So we'll get pi by 2 plus pi by 2 minus the lower limit. This is equal to pi. So pi minus tan, if I take minus sign outside, tan inverse of s by a plus tan inverse of s by b. Again, making use of tan inverse of a plus tan inverse of b. Since we have plus here, the numerator will be plus. Since we have plus here, so here also a plus b upon 1 minus a. If you have plus here, denominator is negative. If you have numerator negative, then the denominator is going to be positive. So we can substitute that. Instead of a, again s by a. Instead of b, we are having s by b. So simplifying and substituting in tan inverse of a plus b upon 1 minus ab. So a plus b will become s by a plus s by b upon 1 minus s by a into s by b. Cross multiplying, denominator will be ab in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So we will have bs plus as upon ab. Here we will have ab minus s square upon ab. So AB will get cancelled in the denominator. So we will have SB plus SA upon AB minus S square. That is the answer for this. Tan inverse of S by A plus tan inverse of S by B is equal to this. But the given integral is equal to pi minus. So we can write the given integral to be equal to pi minus this answer, which is the required result. You had some result to prove that. So we have got the result as pi minus tan inverse. So what we have to do is convert this integral to Laplace transform, make use of the properties of Laplace transform, and then substitute the value for that s if s is given. This is actually Next problem. Evaluate 0 to infinity e raised to minus 2t minus e raised to minus 3t upon t by using Laplace transform. So again, writing this integral in terms of Laplace transform. So what I have done is I have taken this as e raised to 0t, like this whole thing is taken as f of t, or you can separate it and write as two different integrals. I have not done that. I have taken this whole thing as f of t and s is taken as 0. Since there is no e raised to minus st term separately, here I have taken s is equal to 0 and the whole thing is taken as f of t. So which means that this integral will be equal to L of this with s is equal to 0. Okay, we can either separate and make use of different s, but I have not done that. I have taken the whole function as f of t with s is equal to 0. So this whole function is f of t. So we've written L of f of t with s is equal to 0. Now calculating the Laplace transform of the numerator. So L of e raised to minus 2t minus L of e raised to minus 3t. So we will have, since we have a plus minus sign in between, we can separate L to both the terms. So L of e raised to minus 2t minus L of e raised to minus 3t. So we can write 1 upon s plus 2 minus 1 upon s plus 3. This is the Laplace transform of the numerator. Now since we have division by t, this answer has to be integrated with respect to s between the limits s and infinity. So integration of this answer between the limits s and infinity. Now this is 1 upon s plus 2. This is of the form f dash of x upon fx. This will become log of s plus 2 minus log of s plus 3, because the derivative of s plus 2 is 1. S plus 3 is also equal to 1. So we can write this integration as log of s plus 2 and here log of s plus 3. Again, when we apply the upper limit, we will get infinity minus infinity, which is not defined. So then we have to combine log terms. Log a minus log b is log a by b. When we apply the upper limit, again you will get this answer to be 0 because s is the term which is becoming infinity. So our aim is to cancel that s term. So how the s is cancelled? Take s outside from the numerator, s outside from the denominator, and then cancel that s and then put s is equal to infinity. So we will get this to be equal to log 1. That will become 0. So we will have 0 minus log of this answer. And since to remove this minus sign, I can take the reciprocal of this fraction. So I can write log of s plus 3 upon s plus 2. Now we have to put s is equal to 0. So when s is equal to 0, the Laplace transform will become log 3 by 2, or this integral is equal to log 3 by 2. So main aim is converting the Laplace transform, converting the definite integral to Laplace transform, making use of the properties of Laplace transform, and then putting s is equal to the required value and evaluating this integral and calculating the value of this integral. So we have some practice problems here. First step is converting these two integrals in terms of the Laplace transform with s is equal to 2 in both the cases. Then what we have to do is we have to evaluate, in the first case, evaluating L of sin ht by t. So since we have division by t, the Laplace transform of the numerator is to be integrated. Here also the Laplace transform of the numerator is to be integrated. So first calculating the Laplace transform of the numerator and then integrating that answer between the limit s and infinity. So thank you and see you in the next lecture.